Our tale begins in the Duchy of Brugah. The proud people of Brugah rather break than bend, and they proved this by resisting invasion for nearly a century. But outnumbered and under-equipped, they eventually fell, becoming a vassal state of the decaying empire. In the 200 years since, Brugah has worn its imperial bridle with contempt. The Bruganese whisper of the golden age of independence and that it may come again. The protracted conflict left the border between these nations a war-scarred barren. Uninhabitable by honest folk, brigands and highwaymen camp in the crumbling towers and abandoned villages. On the southern edge of these ravaged lands, as they have been named, sits the quaint town of Grandshire. Let's go around and say who you are, who you're playing, and what brings you to Grandshire.
All right. So my name's Casey Brown. I'm playing the character of Versino. I'm a young street urchin, about 15 years old, and I grew up in Grandshire. I've lived here all my life, as long as I can remember. So the city is kind of second nature to me.
Okay. Hello, listeners. My name is Rebecca Lemell. In the campaign, I'm going to be playing Eleanor Hawthorne, going by Reed to the other players. I am a 19-year-old hot-headed noble's daughter in Grandshire to infiltrate the revolution there. I've got a trusty steed named Abbott that never leaves my side, and I think that covers all of my bases.
Hi, my name is Katie Major. I'm playing Proctor Celeste. She's a 23-year-old idealistic physician, fresh out of school, abandoned school. I'm in this town to fight Grimshaw fever that's spreading across the land. I'm ready to tackle it.
Hello, I am Nolan Shambley. I play Sebastian Delmont in this wonderful campaign. I am a wealthy noble. I have escaped from the capital to Brugah and Grandshire. I own and run a handful of bathhouses where you can take a soak or potentially indulge in some of the finer things in life.
Nice. I love it.
Hello, my name is Mathew Shepherd. I am playing Emmanuel Bren, or Professor Brennis. He is a 152-year-old retired music professor from the School of Thought. He is a traveler and has recently come to the Grandshire area where he met Sebastian and started to frequent his bathhouse.
We are going to open our tale with a young street rat named Versino. It's a hot summer afternoon in Grandshire. You're hanging out on a rooftop, some tile gable, with someone you see almost as a brother next to you. Miles, you guys grew up on the streets together, and you're just sitting on the eve of a building, trying to figure out where your next meal is coming from. You've been contracted by someone to keep an eye out for Thomas Bailey, an old a guy who used to run with one of the revolutionaries around town. And you don't see any marks, but you do see someone matching Thomas's description. He's walking with like a collar up. He knows that he's a wanted man, and he's got a ragged scruff of black hair. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days, and he's just walking along this busy street, trying to stay out of sight, head down. Miles points down over the roof. You guys are on the other side of the street from him. He's like, Hey, isn't that guy you're looking for?
What? Oh, yeah, I seen him. Just biding my time's all.
If you say so, you're in charge. And he'll start scampering
That's right.
down. He'll start scampering down from the roof. You see that as you're climbing down, you see that Thomas is actually turning into an alleyway with a cart parked there.
Okay, I guess we'll casually pass by the alleyway. See if we can see past the cart.
Awesome. You and Miles walk side by side down the street with the flow of people. Alleyway on your right, and you hear like two voices before you reach the mouth of the alleyway. You hear two voices talking in hushed tones, but you can't make out the words.
Can I try to creep forward a little bit? Stay hidden, maybe the shadows of the alley, but get a good listen in.
Definitely.
Cool.
You roll an agility stealth to get close.
That is a 9
Nice.
with
So
my modifier.
You can get up right at the alleyway and like peek around, and they don't see you. And you hear Thomas. He's talking to a portly man with like dirty hands. Seems to be the owner of the cart, and he's in the middle of saying, it's like, they've got guys at the gates. I can't get out. But I scraped a little bit of money together. I got 40, 50 silver. I'll just lay in the back with the onions. They won't be the wiser. Come on, man. They're gonna kill me if they find me. And he seems to be pleading with this farmer.
So I'm gonna kind of reach under my tunic and grip my locket. I'd like to do a flicker to make it sound like guards or something approaching down the alley from the direction that like I'm currently in.
Awesome. With a 9 stealth, you can remain unseen long enough to peek around the corner and see your target. Do you want to target the farmer or Thomas Bailey?
I think Thomas.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your magic, and you can add Arcana. You need a 4.
I got an 8 in total.
Awesome. So with an 8, you could target up to 3 people.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, both of them then.
You want them to hear like yelling and running coming from the street?
Yeah, like the clanking of like chainmail or something like that. Like very clearly like guards are like coming this direction, like in a hurry.
Thomas looks up, absolutely panicked. Like, listen, man, I got no other choice. And he will almost like Scrooge McDuck dive into the back of the onion cart and start like rearranging boxes and bags. And you just hear like rummaging around. The farmer's just like stuck with this bag of money, and he's just like looking around. He starts like stuffing it in the side of his thing. He's like, God. And he's like, and he starts like, and he heads toward the alleyway toward you guys to see what's going on.
So he's holding the bag of money?
Yes.
I want to just do a snatch and grab, just sprint right past him, try to grab it and be on my way.
All right, cool. So he's coming, he's walking straight toward you. So you're gonna have to run like right past him, maybe as soon as he leaves the alleyway.
Exactly, yeah. Like as soon as he's turning a corner, grab it and just haul ass.
Awesome. Roll an agility. Do you even care if it's unseen, or are you just going for a random snatch and grab?
Snatch and grab just as quick as possible to get out of there.
All right. It would be probably an agility fighting to take it from him.
Okay. Got a 9.
Nope.
Nice. You run past him and you grab the bag by one of the drawstrings. He manages to hold on to the other drawstring, and the pouch of silver just splits in the middle of the street.
Classic.
He tied you. He also got a 9.
All right, I'm going to just scoop up as much as possible while continuing to move.
Okay. You grab just like handfuls of dirt and straw, but there's definitely some coins in there as well. The farmer is like cursing and starting to stomp toward you, and he's like, guards, like they were just here. And but you're already gone into the crowd. You can add 18 silver pieces.
Now I have a total of 18 silver pieces.
Nice. That's a
Awesome. And I guess I already told Miles to meet me at the smoking room we established. So I think I'm going to try to head there just as quickly as possible.
awesome. Reed, you are
Yes.
hanging out at this cigar lounge. It's just like a low lit smoking room, not super upscale. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, mostly just waiting for my informants to get back to me. I'm kind of trying to like suss out if there's any conversations that I want to overhear. I imagine the tobacco lounge is somewhere where like it's a social gathering place. So I'm gonna try and look for anybody that looks like they're part of the rebellion.
Nice.
Should I roll perception?
Absolutely. Please do, to overhear and spot people.
It's intelligence is perception.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't have a
Worst case.
skill in it, so it's just a D6. A 6.
Nice. You've been studying Rain Talivald's men for a while as the organization that you're hoping to make an impression with. And they don't wear uniforms. They don't have such an obvious marker, but you've gotten the sense for them over the last couple of days. And you see two guys who are standing at the counter talking, and they wouldn't be too suspicious, except that you overhear the name Bailey. You can't really hear what they're saying, but you know that they're talking about Thomas Bailey.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna scoot my way on up. It's gonna be like, here you're talking about Bailey. Any word on his whereabouts? I know he's a wanted man.
One of the guys looks up and he's like, we may have been. Why don't you mind your own business? And takes like a long drag on a cigar. The guy behind him claps him on the shoulder. He's like, wait. Yeah, we might be interested in his whereabouts. Be willing to pay good money too. Do you know where he is?
I had the exact same question. I hear he's hiding out somewhere in Grandshire, so I've made my way over here. Any reason you guys are looking out for him?
The guy with the cigar says, yeah, he betrayed our cause. Damn snitch was gonna run his mouth to the Baron's men. And the guy behind him, still hand over shoulder, says, if you happen to run into this Bailey or any information about his whereabouts, make sure to bring it to the Ruined Reeve. It's a barrel house on the other side of town. Talivald will be willing to pay you well for anything that leads to his capture. And the guy with the cigar kind of furrows his brows, like, what's gotten you so interested in Bailey? Has he pissed someone else off?
Nothing personal, just a fighter for the cause.
Like, well, I don't think we've met. And he extends a hand. The name's Rowley.
And be like, let me know if I can grab you any more smokes. I'm gonna be here a little while. I've actually got some goons on the street, just some street kids keeping an eye out for Bailey myself. I'm hoping he can spot him by the end of the night, and I can set my sights on capturing him for Talivald.
The other guy, his
know
name's
his name.
Cranston. He says, you're awfully enthusiastic. Rowley's like, yeah, maybe we could learn a thing or two from her. And then they just kind of like laugh and go back to smoking. Yeah, I was like, go get him.
Dismissive. I'm gonna be like, well, we gotta be in these times. We're on the brink of war. Maybe you two should start taking it more seriously, because I'm kind of hot-headed and
Mhm.
really trying to like insert myself as like an important member of this cause and make a name for myself.
Absolutely.
I'm
Rowley,
gonna not let them shut me out of their conversation.
yeah, Rowley turns around and he's like, our cause, you're sure joined on pretty quick. And Cranston puts a hand on his arms like, hey, yeah, she's young. Let it go.
Maybe you'd be more fiery if your mom died because of poverty, since the Empire's been screwing over us poor folks. Maybe you're just doing it to make a quick buck, or because you like fighting with your tiny swords, but I'm doing it to avenge my mom and make this world a better place for people like you and me. I'm gonna kind of I don't know how tall I am, but I'm gonna get in his face.
All right, you're gonna get in his face. Rowley stands up and puts his cigar out on the counter and says, hate to break this to you, sweetheart. No one cares about your dead mom.
I'm gonna take out a blade.
Okay. Do you want to actually draw a sword or what?
I mean, I don't think it's smart, but Reed is a very impulsive young lady. And
You're just
yeah.
gonna draw a sword and die. You're gonna have one scene.
No. All right. But I
No,
won't, I
you
guess I'm
can
in
if
an
you think you beat 'em.
establishment. I mean, I don't want to get kicked out of the smoking lounge because I told Versino to meet me back here, but
Yeah, in fact, you are reckless. So
I can't say no to a fight. I'm gonna
well, let's see. Let's see. I think you have a chance. Let's read the reckless trait really quick. Reckless says you never have to roll courage, but you must roll a discipline of 4 or greater to not
perfect.
charge into battle any chance you get. So this isn't quite
Okay.
a large scale, grandiose battle, but it is definitely a
Yes.
good opportunity. So roll a d6, and if you get a
Okay.
4, 5, or 6, you can do whatever you want. If you get a 1, 2, or 3, you have to punch this dude.
Okay. I got a 1.
All right. It looks like you're throwing blows. You're going to need to roll an agility and add your fighting.
Okay. Easy. Agility is a D8. It's gonna be this guy. Got a 5 plus my fighting is +3, so an 8.
Nice. Yeah, you punch him straight in the face. He like leans over the bar, but gets back up. He just looks angry. He's bleeding a little bit from the lip. And he's like, I'm gonna show you what a real revolutionary looks like. And he will throw a blow at you.
All right. Is this another agility plus fighting?
Oh yeah, you can either parry with your hands,
Okay.
or you can dodge. But since you're wearing armor, I wouldn't recommend dodging.
No, I'll
Just
throw
roll
up my arms.
roll agility then to parry. To beat a 6.
7.
Nice. You managed to deflect the blow, and it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll make sure he stays down. Teach
All
him
right.
a lesson.
If you want to hit him really hard, like in the head, you can deal extra damage, but you're gonna have to subtract 3 from your roll. It's up to you, or you can just punch him again.
I just want to punch him again because if I punched him once, I dodged it. I'm just gonna punch him again and be like,
Cool.
"What are you doing?" You know what I mean?
All right, do it.
4 plus 3 fighting is a 7.
Got a 5. Yeah, you just knee him in the gut. He's still standing, but barely. And Cranston like pulls him back. He's like, "Come on, man, we're on the same side here, right? Come on."
You're right. Can I buy you a smoke as long as you don't talk about my dead mom anymore?
Rowley just kind of like spits on the ground. He's like, "I'm gonna get some fresh air," and walks outside. But Cranston nods and says, "You can take his seat."
Sick.
Versino, You are walking up to this smoking house as a man with a bloodied face stumbles out into the daylight, opening the door, and a puff of tobacco smoke billows out behind him. You and Miles
Oi,
just arrived.
you seen Reed?
Uh,
I'll ask the bloodied man.
he's like, I'm not sure if that's her name. You're talking about the psycho at the bar, fucked up face.
Oh yeah, that's thanks, bruv. And I'll push past him.
All right, cool. You head in. Miles says, I'm gonna wait outside. Just keep a lookout.
Man out there we talked to looks a little distracted. Good time to practice your trade. Just be smart.
Yeah, Miles can hang out outside as long as my horse isn't out there.
There is an enormous black Frisian horse outside.
Mm-mm.
It's fine. It's a little ways off.
Yeah, we'll
from
just
the
keep
door.
like a
Okay, it's fine.
yeah, just a respectably wide berth as we enter the bar, or I enter the bar.
You head in. It's a dimly lit, smoke-filled room. At this hour, not very populated. There's 2 people at the bar, one of which is wearing like full plate, and you recognize the armor as Reed's.
Oi, Reed, just not really making a attempt to be subtle or anything, as I'm like feeling very important, like sauntering through past all the adults up to the bar.
Racino, I take it this means you found Bailey?
Oh yeah, found him. Found a friend of his.
Crossan turns around, very
Oh,
interested in this conversation.
Meet my new friend, Crossan. He's part of the rebellion as well. I'm sure both of us would like to get our hands on old Tommy.
You both paying?
I mean, so sorry, I misspoke. This dude's name is Cranston.
Cranston, you're right.
Yeah,
I wrote it
yeah,
down.
Cranston.
Yeah, I wrote it down too. I forgot. Cranston, he looks to you, Reed, and he's like, why don't you pay the man and share what you learned as a sign of good faith? It'll go a long way to mending that bridge you almost broke with Rowley.
All right, Versino.
Well, I was just told. I was telling one person. It seems to me, if I'm telling 2, then I'm never been good with numbers. It seems like the money should be more.
I mean, it seems like we should each pay you half, but because I trust that the knowledge you're going to give me is truthful, I'm more than happy to pay for both of our.
Yeah, you're pushing your luck,
Yes,
urchin.
Yeah. Pushing your luck. You can get no money if you want, you know?
All right. I see how it is. So we found him out on the street. He was talking to a farmer. Looks like he was trying to buy onions or sell onions. He was interested in onions, and he jumped in a cart full of onions. He was very afraid of the guards.
Okay.
I can tell you where the street was.
Why don't you take me there?
Well, they may not like me there.
Versino.
Cranston is like,
Reed.
onions? You think Thomas is trying to make a stew? What's going on?
Oh, he was. You misunderstand. He was trying to get out of the city. There's a cart with onions. He said he wanted to leave to escape, and the onion peddler was going to assist him, and they were very jumpy, very rude.
Mhm.
Cranston stands up and says, "Are you kidding me? If he's got a way out of town, he could be gone by now. Show us where this cart is right now."
Well, okay, fine, but I need the money first.
Fine. I hand you a coin purse of what was our deal? 25 silver.
It was like what, 5 for like seeing him, then like 25 for like information or something.
Yeah.
And a pipe too. I want a pipe.
Fucking Cranston just takes his pipe and gives it to you. He's like, we're it turns to you, reads like, I want you to know that we're both getting hustled right now. And he's like, you take us to the cart now. If there's no Thomas Bailey, I'm taking that pipe back.
All right. Well, I don't know why you're dawdling. We need to hurry. He could be out of town any minute. Just turn on my heels and saunter out the door.
Awesome. So you guys head toward back toward the onion cart, and I'm going to check in with Celeste. It's a average afternoon at your clinic, and you have a long line of people out the door who need your medical attention. There's this sickness called Grimshaw fever that is coming in from the west. You can kind of like see down the line. There's maybe 6 or 7. Some of them have like obvious injuries. They're walking with crutches or have bandaged hands. But yeah, you see 2 or 3 that have the signature like red boils on like the forehead and arms that are indicative of this ailment. A man stumbles up to you. He's old, haggard, wearing little more than rags, and he says, "My name's Edgar. I used to sweep floors for the general store on 6th, but they won't let me come in anymore. So I don't have much to pay you. But I heard you were a good soul. Might check me out. You know." Apparently, you've gotten a little bit of a reputation for being a humanitarian.
Fair enough. So does he have the boils?
He does.
Okay. So I think first and foremost, I'm going to take anybody in the line that I see with the boils and like move them into isolation.
Cool. Yeah, so you can start 2 lines, one for injured
Yeah.
and one for sick.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
then I'll tell him like, I'll see what I can do.
Sweet. As you try to rearrange the potential patients, there's like some grumbling. You know, the person in second place who's injured who's like, well, "What does that mean? Am I not going to get seen until 3rd or whatever?" And but then someone in the back of the line is like, "Come on, just do what she says. She's helping people." And eventually they organize themselves, and you can roll an intelligence alchemy to see what you can do for them.
10.
10.
Because I rolled a 5 plus 5.
Nice. That's very good.
First roll of the game.
Yeah. Are you adding your +2 for the workshop?
Oh, I was not.
Because you're in your workshop. You have all of your
No.
instruments and your tools, your textbooks to reference.
Yeah.
So you're in your element. So that's a 12 total. Yeah, you have them like lay down on the table, and you like administer some like cooling salves, give them some like tonics to drink. And he says, "I'm feeling much better already," even though he might just be saying that to make you feel good. But yeah, all of the medicines that you administered probably cost you maybe 40, 50 silver. Luckily with your reserves, like your benefactor trait, you don't have to mark that off of your spending money. But if you keep just giving these medicines away, you are going to run out pretty in the next week or 2. So
Yeah. I'm gonna, if possible, let those 2 simmer while I help everyone else so I can study more about them after I get through a lot of the line.
Awesome. Yeah, you go to the next patient after Edgar, and you realize that they are wearing the light green robes of a proctor, similar to the ones that you're wearing. You can't see their face because they're wearing a plague mask It kind of goes up over the head and has like a beak on the front. But as they step into the store, they kind of like unclip the back and pull it off, and you see long gray hair fall down around his shoulders, and you recognize your old toxicology professor, Yelmir.
I'm gonna say, Yelmir, what are you doing here?
I like it. He just kind of smiles, like, yeah, I could ask you the same thing. Brugah is a long way from the herborium. I'm actually here to talk to you.
Come, and I shuffle him into a corner of my workshop that's not really more hidden than the other.
he puts like the leather mask under his arm, and he's like, yes, it's good to speak away from the patients, and he tries to keep his voice down. He says, I'm here to collect samples. I heard that you were in Grandshire working with the fever. I tried to go to Cobblestone first, but the whole town is closed off. So this is my last resort. We have reason to believe that this disease might be a serious thing and could lead to great breakthroughs if properly studied, the herborium. I'm just here to gather some samples and take them back to the school. Is that something that I know you and the school haven't been on the best terms of late, but I'm sure we can unify on this common good, at least.
I agree. If it's for the common good, my work here is trying to find a cure, and if we can all find one, that works for me. And you're in luck. I have 2 patients who are here today that you can take samples from.
That's very fortunate. I understand that you want to do good, being on the front lines and treating the symptoms, but we both understand that this isn't going to go away until we find a cure, and that is something that the herborium can do better than anyone.
In exchange, I would like updated information.
We unfortunately don't have anything yet, but if anything comes to light, we will have it sent to you by messenger.
Perfect.
He's like, well, if you could get the consent of one of your patients, I will just be taking a few samples. And he takes out like a jar of like a couple like leeches that are grabbed onto the side of the glass.
Yep. No, I'm just kidding. I'm used to seeing this stuff.
Yeah. Nothing new to me.
Ew.
There's leeches in toxicology.
I'm gonna take him to Edgar and just be like, hi, we want to find the perfect cure for you, and for that we need to take a sample from you.
It's like, I've always been terrified of bugs, but I suppose I'm not paying for my treatment. I may as well help the others like me. And he like just closes his eyes and braces himself.
I'm gonna hold his hand because I have little glovies.
Nice.
I'm like, it's okay.
That's really sweet. That's awesome. Well, Yelmir administers the leeches. It just takes less than a minute for them to get plump and fat, and he pulls them off. I'm so sorry. And he pulls them off, puts them back in the jar, tucks them in his like side satchel, puts his mask back on, and says, "Thank you for seeing past our differences, and we will be in touch if we uncover anything."
Perfect.
I know it's a very satisfying role for you to be in here, with the sick, and you can see the good that you're doing. But I promise you could help thousands or tens of thousands more if you came back to the school. We need good minds like yours, and you were one of the best students I had.
Thank you, but I've made my decision.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. It's all right. And he heads toward the door. Like, well, if you ever change your mind, the doors are open.
I'll keep that in mind.
He heads out, and a girl with like a splinter through her arm walks in next. And you're like, well, time to go to work. Let's hop next to Sebastian and Brennus, who are hanging out in the estuary, a high-class bathhouse in Grandshire. Eating some grapes, drinking some wine, and getting your report from your Chamberlain, Khabib.
Loving this water.
I figured I'd actually probably have been taking care of some some business this morning, and probably am just walking in.
As you're undressing and handing these letters off, your ever-present manservant Khabib is there with you. He's your confidant and manages your bathhouses for you in your absence. Probably your most trusted member of your retinue. He wears a mustache in a typical Bruganese style, but his Merithian heritage makes it like a pencil thin instead of like the red bushy mustaches that are in fashion here.
As you said, I'll walk in and start unbuttoning my formal clothes now that I'm in my bathhouse, and start to shed a little bit of clothing to get comfortable. Start throwing a jacket on the counter here and there, because I clearly don't tend to my own clothes. Khabib, any news for the day?
It's like several articles to discuss, sir. Yeah, you're just wading down into the water. Brennus is there, like always. You're amazed that this dude hasn't sprouted gills by the amount of time he spends in the water. And yeah, this is just a more private bath, just for the the most highest paying customers. Only you guys in the room at the moment.
Welcome, Sebastian. Water's fine, and you can't tell which wrinkles are from the water yet, so I'll stay for a little longer.
Professor, I mean, I won't lie. I'm happy you pay me money, but do you do anything besides bathe?
Oh, I go for my walks. That party last night was pretty fun, though.
I throw the best.
That's why I'm still here.
Khabib, from standing fully dressed in a bathhouse, he always looks so out of place because he's wearing like a turtleneck and like 3 layers in a place where like everyone else is just wearing towels and stuff. Yeah, and he's just kind of standing at the top of the bath. He's like, I hate to interrupt, sir, but this invitation is rather pressing. Elias Crow, Baron of Grandshire and regular, you know him well. He has invited you this afternoon for a quick ride through the countryside and a hunt with none other than Countess Catherine Everett. He said to tell you that he met her at a party in Brugah the week before last, invited her here specifically so that you two could meet. If you don't mind me saying, I think he's trying to pair you up.
Elias, that crotchety old man, he does pay well. I've grown to like him a little bit. have you heard of this woman yourself, Khabib?
In name alone, until I received this invitation. After that, I did some digging, as I knew you would request. She holds quite a bit of land to the northwest of here, mostly worthless barrens. The southern part of the ravaged lands, unfortunately. But she lives quite well on reparations that she receives from the emperor for those destroyed lands.
I mean, yeah, but how does she look?
Everett says, I did not inquire as to her appearance. That is something that you must judge yourself, sir.
I think Elias knows me well enough that I don't think he'd set me up on something too bad.
I don't think so either, sir. And he says, one other thing about Catherine Everett. She's a countess. Count Everett Howard died a little more than a year ago. And
Interesting.
The circumstances were, well, this is what, there's no way to sugarcoat this. Her husband was riding through his lands and was bucked from the horse. Seems like a freak accident. He was thrown into a ravine, a small ditch, should have just been bruised, except that he landed on a rusty sword and died before he ever got home.
That is quite a story.
It sounds like a tall tale. I was very skeptical when I heard it, but I have done some research, and the ravaged lands are notorious for having forgotten battlefield equipment left around, sometimes only under a couple inches of dirt. It is technically possible, I suppose.
Was he by himself?
The report doesn't say.
Interesting. I wonder who I mean, yeah, this is fishy, but I guess we'll see. It'll be a good icebreaker, and I'll give him a little wink.
Just so you know what you're getting into.
Sounds like an interesting woman.
To say the least.
Definitely meet her.
She might be as crazy as me.
Good luck.
I have a hunch that is why Elias is matching you up. All due respect, sir.
Thanks.
Oh, speaking of money, this is your income for last week, in case you need any clothes or walking around money. And he puts a folded satchel down on the desk next to where you threw your coat. It says, after taking expenses and paying all of our staff, that leaves you with 225 silver. It was a good week for us.
I'll kind of wave my hand at it. Throw it in the place with the rest.
As you command.
Grab a little bit of that pocket change for yourself. Thanks for the info.
I will, sir. I've been thinking about getting some new curtains for my room. There are a couple other things, mostly just rumors. Talivald's recruitment seems to be up. You know those chauvinists that run that little barrel house on the west side of town. They seem to be drumming up a good number of people these days, but what else is new? Something happened in the Royal Palace a couple nights ago, but my contacts there can't find anything else about it, which means it's either unimportant or very important. I'll let you know if I find anything else.
Something happened?
Well, all 6 agents that I have in the capital, close to the royal palace, none of them reported anything to me on the scheduled days that they were supposed to. I think people are laying low, waiting for something to blow over.
Keep an ear out and maybe stretch a little further on this one. Pull a little bit more if you think it might be something. I'd rather err on the side of caution than assuming it is not important. See what you can find.
I'll try my best. I took the liberty of picking out a suitable hunting outfit for you. You can find it in your rooms.
He said anything about bringing a guest?
It says, Elias did not specify, but I know that he's rather fond of the professor. I'm sure you would be welcome if falconry interests you.
Emmanuel, I know you like your walks around the woods. You're more than welcome to join if you want.
I usually just make a lot of noise, although I don't know how well I do on a hunting trip.
Might be good to get out.
Yeah, the water wrinkles are setting in now. I'll give it a thought. Perhaps I'll join you.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got like a couple hours. It's like an early evening after the heat of the day starts to recede a little bit. Across town, close to the southern gate, Versino is leading Cranston and Reed back toward that alley where he saw Thomas Bailey just an hour ago.
Well, yeah, it's just right around the corner up here. You can smell the onions.
You are coming down from the north side, which is the same way that you were coming from before, and the alley's on your right. You reach it and you look in. There is no cart.
I'm gonna grab Versino by the front of his shirt and be like, "You better not be hustling me, kid."
Hustle. What is that? No. It's a cart. You see, they can move quicker than a man. I'm sure they're close. They said they couldn't leave the city.
I don't believe you.
Look at me.
You either find Thomas Bailey or I'm gonna take my silver back. That was our deal. You find the man, you get the money.
Okay, well,
now I've held up my end of the deal. Where is Bailey?
Just a moment. I want to pour through the dirt and straw real quick to see if there's any leftover silver pieces that didn't get picked up in our original scuffle. As I'm like answering your questions, I'm gonna be like digging through the dirt.
Unfortunately, they've been there for about an hour. If the farmer didn't collect them, other passersby have. But it does look like you're kind of it does look like you're tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I hold some up. I would say they went. Sir, I'll yell at someone on the street. Did you see a cart come through recently?
It looks like. Yeah, perhaps. It looks like they were going toward the south gate. Left just a minute or two ago.
I'm gonna push him out of my way.
Thank you so much.
You're useless.
That's surprisingly helpful.
A cart laden with onions.
All right.
Was it an onion cart?
He's like, yeah. He's a shopkeep. He's stationed here on like a stall on the street. It's like, yeah, it was parked in that alley. Why do you care?
See, just a minute or two ago, you should pay this man for his help.
I'm sorry, I don't have any silver. I gave it all to this nice young beggar boy right here. But thank you, sir. My onion delivery is late and I have very important business. Gotta go.
Cool.
As we hustle off, I'll stop and say, not a beggar, entrepreneur. If you ever need work, head off down the road.
Didn't that guy see you like
Yeah, like accosted old
earlier?
man.
Laying in dirt,
He
yeah.
set up right there.
Yeah, he was there for that.
Are we
He's like
close
he's kind of
enough,
guarding his
to the-
radishes a little closer.
Jonah, are we close enough to the smoke shop that we were just at for me to grab my horse to then ride out? I feel like that would be faster.
You're
Or is the
not
south gate,
you're
like,
you're
right
not
there?
close enough to like the south gate's like basically just there, maybe 3 or 4 minutes away.
Okay.
You could have brought your horse with you though. You probably shouldn't leave it
Okay.
unattended. It's really
Yeah.
expensive.
It was not stated whether or not my horse was here.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over it.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't
Cool.
leave it just tied to a random street corner.
No, I'm gonna have a man on the back of it soon, hopefully. I don't want to just drag him through the streets, however
Yeah.
strong I am. So I'm gonna take my pony with me. Sweet.
Yeah, I'm keeping like a 10-foot distance.
All right,
We're
cool.
like kind of shouting at each other.
Yeah, Versino definitely gives your horse a wide berth, but Cranston is there right next to you, making sure you don't slip away.
I have an idea. You follow the road. I'll take to the rooftops. I'll look for him from up there. Aerial point of view.
Cranston looks at you like he thinks you're trying to get away. But the shopkeep did just corroborate your story, so he reluctantly shrugs. Let's
Fine.
go of
We
your.
don't need
You will
him.
not.
Yeah.
It's like
We
I'll
don't
stay
need-
within eyesight. I'll yell down if I see him.
Well, don't alert him. Like, oh, we gotta sneak up on the guy so he doesn't start running away again. That's the whole thing, is he's running away and we can't find him. Just don't give us away, Versino. Just like if you see the guy, like give us a hand signal, you know?
I can whistle. I learned to whistle.
Perfect.
It
I
scares away
will
the
whistle
horses.
and I'll take up off a rooftop. Yeah. I'll clamber up to the closest one.
Sweet. Real quick agility acrobatics for me. You can definitely do it.
I
This
would
is
love to.
just going to determine how quickly.
6.
Nice. Yeah, you and Miles both head up. He gives you a hand when you get stuck at one balcony, and quickly you're on the top of the second story. Pretty low buildings, slate roofs, and they're like long rows of townhomes and shops that you can run along parallel to the street. As soon as you're up there, roll a quick intelligence, add your perception, see if you can spot the wagon cart anywhere. I mean the onion wagon cart. I'm here.
Onion cart.
I believe in you.
Thanks.
5.
You see a couple of carts all like backed up at the south gate as it takes time for them to go through and be checked and processed by the city guard. So there's like 5 or 6 wagons. You don't know which one the onion cart is, but they're all stopped in a line at the south gate. Just like a little ways down the road.
Nice. Versino waves down everyone else, like trying to pantomime like Southgate.
South gate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. You guys can rush down there if you want.
I would love to. I'm gonna gallop my way on over.
Yeah, people are getting out of your way or dying.
Well,
Miles.
I don't want to tip off Bailey, but I'm just a woman on a horse. There's
Yeah,
nothing unusual about that.
You're going.
I'm
you're
just
going
in a
fast.
hurry.
Cranston jogs behind you, and Miles is watching from the rooftops. He's like, "God, it was just like that." Thinking about his horrific accident. And
Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it.
yeah, I'm sorry. And
The horse looked exactly like that too.
yeah. Wait, I think it was.
In fact, the twist.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's later in the campaign, guys.
Okay,
Okay, so So you and Cranston rush up. Versino, you're up on the rooftops. You want to follow like a little ways behind or slip away, or what are you doing?
There's like blood in the water. I feel like there's an opportunity for more money, so I want to like disengage the rooftops and like kind of approach with them.
Cool.
Like
You
from
guys-
a distance, like being like casual.
You guys approach the back wagon, which seems to be a carriage. And then the one after that you see is laden with onions.
That's gonna be the one.
There's maybe 4 or 5 more wagons between the onion wagon and the gate, where there are 2 city guards.
Does
I'm
the
gonna-
driver of the onion wagon look familiar?
He does. Definitely the
I'll
farmer from
say,
earlier.
That's him.
I'm gonna ride on up to the onion cart driver and be like, cart check. Bruganese cart check here. Gotta
He-
check out these onions.
He
No time. Gotta go.
he looks at you. He's like, on whose authority?
On my authority right now. And can I roll an intimidation?
Yeah, roll a strength, and you can add your persuasion if you have it to look intimidating.
I know my
It's-
strength.
It's
is
going to be
8,
pretty hard
but
though,
strong.
because this guy's really close to the guards, and so if you like physically accost him, you can just like call for the.
That is an 8 plus 2.
Oh Jesus.
You have a persuasion?
Oh yeah. Oh no, wait, I'm looking at Celeste. Never mind. It is I don't. It is an 8.
Nice. That's still pretty good. He's kind of just like looking to you, back to the guards. He's like, I'm sorry. There must be a misunderstanding. I just have onions here. And Cranston walks up behind you and says, we're here on Talivald's authority. Don't you run that shop down on 4th Street? And just kind of backs you up. And with the 2 of you there, he looks to the guards. He's like, yeah, okay, fine. Listen, he just paid me 50 silver to ride out of town like nothing was going on. I barely even know the guy. And you hear from the pile of onions, someone say, you bastard. And the onions like just explode out of the cart as someone leaps and starts running the opposite direction, like along the city wall, away from the gate, away from you guys, away from the street.
After him.
I'll immediately start like pursuit and yell, how much am I being paid?
I don't need your help anymore. We found the guy. Thanks. Keep your silver.
Cranston says, Talivald will buy you your own pony if you trip him.
Kind of stop and like, can always sell it. And I'll hurry off after the guy too.
Sweet. So I want you all to roll agility acrobatics or agility riding if you're on horseback. See how quickly you can traverse the difficult, crowded streets.
9.
Nice.
I have a 6 plus 2 riding, so an 8.
Nice. You guys quickly overtake this person who's just on foot. You're significantly faster than him, and you're on horseback. And so you guys are just running on either side of him, and he's like looking left and right, but doesn't want to give up.
Trip him.
So I was gonna say, since I'm running beside him, can I use my tripping dodge and just like catch his feet while she rides him down?
You can't use tripping dodge because he's not attacking you, but you can just trip him. It's just like an action.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So is that agility fighting?
It's actually agility acrobatics. You just like outmaneuver someone, like just fuck with their
Fantastic.
feet.
Sorry, it's like dark. I can't quite tell. 8 altogether.
Nice. You do manage to throw your leg out in front of him. He goes sprawling to the dirt, and it gives Reed the opportunity to pull her horse around, so you're standing on top of him, or not like literally on top of him, but like towering over him on horseback.
I'm gonna assume, because I'm going on a manhunt, that I've brought rope of some kind with me.
I'll allow it.
It's like, yeah, if my pal Cranston over here could like hold him down, I'm gonna tie his hands behind his back and throw him Western style over the horse, like.
Cranston hasn't caught up yet. You can see him like a ways
Okay.
back in the crowd, like panting and jogging. You can roll a strength fighting to tie this dude up.
I shall do so right now.
Search his pockets.
Yeah, you can take whatever's on this guy, like, as long as it's money. 4 plus 3 fighting is 7.
He's like, you don't understand. You managed, as you're tying up, he's like, you don't understand. Chalavold and his men, they're planning something bad. I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. You gotta understand. If you take me back there, he's gonna kill me. Please.
He said he wanted you alive. Why would he kill you?
Because he wants to torture me first.
And why shouldn't I, like, I don't get anything out of it. Why would I not just bring you over and collect the bounty on your head? What do you have to offer me?
I gave the farmer every last silver I had.
I don't need money. What's
I can give you information. I know what they're planning. I don't want to die.
has Cranston caught up yet?
He's jogging up. He's like 10 feet behind you, out of breath.
Well, I'm gonna keep you tied up, but if I take you somewhere more private, are you willing to tell me why you've defected? There's got to be a good reason.
Cranston comes running up and claps you on the shoulder. Your armor clinks. He's like, "Good stuff, you two. Man, what a dream team. Get him on the horse. Let's get him back to Talavold."
I think this man has a very interesting story to tell. I think we may want to hear him out before he just rides off to his death at the Talavold.
Talavold's not gonna kill him. We just need to keep him close.
Also,
keep an eye on him.
This Talavold has the silver, correct?
Oh yeah,
He seems like a trustworthy man.
yeah. He's a retired military general. Dude's loaded.
I like the sound of him.
All right, well, if you guys want to lead the way to Talavold, I'll hop on my horse and we'll bring him there. I'm gonna try and chat with Bailey while he's on the back of my horse,
Cool.
as long as he's, willing to. If he really thinks he's gonna die, I imagine he'll want to say his piece.
All right, cool. So you guys all load him up and start heading toward the ruined Reeve, which is like a barrel house on the other side of town. Sebastian and Rennis. Grandshire, it has a castle on one side that's built into the surrounding wall. So it has its own gate to the outside. Elias Crow and his family and his retinue lives there. And it's a pretty standard castle, except for one tower is incredibly old with crumbling masonry and a roof that's been thatched and repaired hundreds of times. And it seems like something that was preserved from the original construction. You guys are on foot or just walking up for transportation?
I do not walk.
Okay, cool. You guys could hire a carriage to get there.
Far too much money for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you would have had, I mean, a horse or something whenever you got here, right? So we'll just take the horses. Tally
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, the bathhouse has a stable for people to store their horses, and I'm sure you could have a few.
Also, there is before this beautiful montage in my head of me trying on these hunting clothes in the mirror.
Yeah, the tall leather boots, a little like jerkin,
Yeah.
very fashionable.
Yep.
Also, I will be in my one set of clothes that is nice for going out, twirling my wooden flute,
Awesome.
waiting patiently for him to stop looking in the mirror.
Nice. I like it. And you don't have a horse. You're mostly a wanderer by foot or other means, but you can borrow one of Sebastian's.
Again, no. We're 100% riding in a carriage.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you can just
Yeah.
hire a local carriage company that will take you there for like a dozen silver.
Cool.
Yeah.
Take that out the bank.
Yeah, you're good. You ride up and around like a fountain in front of the grand stairs, and Elias is already there waiting for you. He has a deep widow's peak, short cropped black hair. He's religiously clean shaven, sharply dressed, and wears a leather bracer on one hand, the left.
Elias, nice to see you out of the estuary.
He shakes your hand and claps you on the back, and he says, I'm so glad you can make it. You even managed to get the professor out of the bath.
Right? It's it's a literally one of a kind thing to get him out of the water.
Well, there's always room for one more.
Yeah, I'll pull up my flute and diddle a little bit and say, someone's got to make noise, otherwise you're gonna get all the animals killed.
He's like, well, that is the point, but I guess we can debate philosophy on the way.
As we're walking, I'll totally give him a nudge, and I'll be like, she's pretty, right?
He smiles and just shakes his head. He's like, Sebastian, why don't you see for yourself? She should be here any minute.
Sebastian will squint his eyes a little bit, and I trust you.
Yeah.
As you should, friend. But here, I need to go to the mews and collect my birds.
Yeah, Brennus and Sebastian definitely share a side glance and be like, oh, no.
You guys head into the oldest crumbling tower, which is just a open one room tower, a little bit bigger than a chimney, with like low light and a bunch of different rods and roosts at different heights going up to the very top, which is a good 30 feet above. And smells of animal and straw in here, and you can see that there's almost half a dozen hawks and falcons in here. And he goes up to one and whistles, and it flies down and lands on his arm. He says, my ancestors were the falconers for Alistair Hammerford back when Brugah was a free kingdom. This muse is the last standing structure of the castle that he built. But I suppose I can't complain too much. My family went from falconers to barons, and well, anyway, just reminiscing on the past. But I learned how to handle a bird from a young age. I got my first when I was 8. There will be bows and archers, houndsmen in the company if you fancy yourself a shot at larger game. But I prefer to do my hunting the way my ancestors did.
Sebastian is deaf a little like, I don't know, it's probably like a kind of dirty bird cage, right?
Yeah.
'Cause there's like poop everywhere. They're birds.
Yeah.
He's like a little, like he's got really nice clothes on. He's kind of like, ugh, fucking dirty birds.
Yeah, this
Like,
is how Elias
cool,
always
I
is.
hear
Like,
your history, but like, word, dude.
yeah, this is how Elias always is. Like very somber.
Yeah,
he's a very
like,
severe man.
I have a little bit of I'm trying to hold back my eye roll.
Like, if you want to conceal your true feelings, I would like you to roll a deception.
That is a 7.
An 8. He just smiles and walks back into the sunlight, and he says, "You may not be impressed by their home or their history, Sebastian, but you will be impressed by what they can do."
I'm sure I will. Hunts aren't something I go on too often. I'm sure I'll be in for a lot of surprises. I hope the company is worth it.
I'm sure it will be. And there's already a hunting party, horses and riders, a good 20 or 30 people gathering in the the courtyard in front of the stables, which you can see down a short flight of stairs toward the gate. And as you guys are leaving the tower, another carriage rumbles in behind yours. What's up?
That's a failed deception.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an XP for me.
It is.
Dope.
Good tracking. Yeah, as a general reminder, if you fail a roll without rolling a 1, mark it down. You can get experience, and it helps you get good at stuff.
Brennis is eyeing the next cart coming up.
Cool. It's a immaculate black carriage pulled by a few horses of white and black. And it rumbles to a halt behind your carriage. The porters get off the top, run around, set up some stairs, and presumably the Countess comes down wearing a like a turtleneck black dress, and her gray hair is like put up in one of those like ornate hair they're like nets. They're not a net, but like like those those silver things that
It's like a frame.
Yeah, it's like a frame. It's like I don't know the name for it, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, she's dressed very well. She's probably in her early 60s, late 50s. And yeah, she's very attractive for her age. She walks with like a dignified, like scrutinous look as she kind of like looks like at everyone over, kind of surveying the hunting party and the tower, the crumbling mews, and then she sees Elias and you, and she smiles and strolls over, and she says, "Elias, I thank you so much for having me. The ride out here from Brugah is gorgeous. Go any further, and I'm sure it wouldn't be, but you really do have the some of the prettiest landscape Brugah has to offer." And Elias bows and takes her hand, all the pleasantries, and says, "This is Sebastian, the man I told you so much about in Brugah, and his friend Professor Brennus from Valencia, a musician of some renown." And she smiles and charmed and extends her hand to each of you for you to shake.
So she is attractive for her age.
Yeah, definitely.
This is rough.
What you
How old?
with your flirtatious trait, I would say that you would have to roll to not flirt with her. She looks great. She's very attractive, and you're attractive.
She does.
The
Okay,
age
cool.
gap is like 30 years. She's almost twice your age, but she's
Fucking beat
awesome.
up. Sebastian is pissed off right now.
What, dude? She's a countess. Besides, is your reputation really
Twice my age.
Yeah, try something new.
Sebastian is pissed off.
Elias is like 20 years your senior.
It's a D6 I have to roll, right?
Yeah. If you want to not compulsively flirt with people.
I rolled a 1.
All right. Looks like you are curious.
Cool. So I will take her hand and give it a big old kiss.
Nice.
And what time of day is it?
It's like early evening. Like the sun is
like-
just starting to
it's
set.
It's like golden hour.
It's like golden
right?
hour, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'll give her hand a kiss and I will say, man, the golden hour just illuminates your skin, and I will roll a charm.
Do it. You can roll a higher guile die because she is attracted to men.
Dope.
Including you.
That is a 9.
Nice. She smiles and laughs and turns to Elias and says, You weren't kidding about this one. What a charmer. But we could stand here and exchange pleasantries all day. We're losing the light, and I am very interested in seeing what these famous crow family birds are capable of.
I will I'm going to when it's kind of like inconspicuous, I'm gonna throw Elias some eyes.
He just like shrugs and is like, as you guys are all mounting your horses, she seems to be a capable rider, pulling herself up into the saddle without an attendant. And you four make the front of the company, followed by a procession of a good 20 or 30 hunters and houndsmen.
I will again, I mean, honestly, I don't even really care that much. I'm gonna pull out my flask and start drinking.
Nice. She the countess is riding next to you and says, oh, is a good vintage, and like extends a hand to try it.
I only drink good vintage.
She takes it and drinks it. Is it good? I'm assuming.
It is good, yes.
Okay. She's like, the flask could be kinder to it, but at least you have taste. I have a 30-year-old bottle of Brugah Red in my cellar that I've been saving for a special occasion. You should try it sometime.
I would love to have the chance to try all of your delicacies.
Oh God. Okay. Cool. Roll another charm. You have to. I'm sorry. Because that could go really bad. That could not land.
The 13.
I hate you. Okay, fine. I guess she thinks that's charming.
Dude, no one said anything to her like that in 40 years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
She is
true.
wet right now.
Sebastian's really hot.
Yes, you have the attractive trait. Yeah, you literally you're a slave to your own desires. She will like laugh and start riding a lot closer to you, and you guys are just getting along marvelously. And Elias kind of falls back a couple of paces, keeps pace with Brynnis, and kind of like looks at the two ahead and turns to you. He's like very low. He's like, "What did I say? I knew they'd be perfect for each other."
Honestly, I think he thinks you brought her here for me.
He's
As
like,
I roll
"Oh."
my sleeve a little bit, you know.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sure there's a Lady Brynnis back in Valencia."
Oh no, this is my lady, and I'll pull out my flute.
Fair enough. It's like, besides, how old are you even? I think she would be a young spring chicken for you.
I stopped counting at 50.
Well, I guess I should have stopped counting a couple of years ago.
Cheers to that.
So you guys are riding through the countryside. Beautiful as Brugah gets, which is really like subpar. It's an ugly country. It's like even the places that haven't been decimated by warfare, it's mostly like scraggly pines, like clay hillsides and like rocky inclines. But with the setting sun and the summer heat receding, you guys are having a marvelous evening. Versino and Reed, you and I guess this new NPC, Cranston, are you just arrived at the ruined reef, which is they call it a barrel house, but really it is a canvas tarp stretched between two buildings, stacked with barrels that are used for seating, tables, and drinking out of. You can see like behind the common area that's covered, it seems to be like a cellar, like cellar doors that go down to another like the building on its right, but they are open and people are carrying like casks and stuff out of them. So it seems like that's where they store the tables and chairs and things during the closing hours. But now they are open and very busy. A bunch of people, mostly like gruff mercenary looking types, most wearing at least a dagger on the hip, are all sitting around drinking. There's some music in the air, but it's mostly like the concordant calls of drunk people, and a couple like tavern songs are struck up and recede just as quickly. And you arrive, Versino, you're a little ways away from the horse. Cranston's in the middle, and you're on the horse with Bailey behind.
I was going to try and talk to Thomas Bailey on the ride over here.
Okay, cool. Cranston is.
I know we've sort of jumped.
No, it's fine. We can jump back.
Right.
That's the power of the imagination.
I just figured while Cranston was walking ahead and Racino
Cranston is staying pretty close, honestly.
It doesn't. He's fine.
He's fine.
I just want to hear what Bailey has to say. Like, he seems like he's got information, I'm like, maybe we could still turn around.
Cool. So
what you're saying sounds good enough.
You're about halfway there, and you want to say maybe we could still turn around if what you have to tell me is good enough. Cool.
Yep.
The Bailey is like, I'll tell you everything. Just don't take me back to Talivald. And Cranston just kind of like hits him, and he's like, you don't say a thing. And yeah, so he's kind of like on the fence of who to listen to.
Cranston, you don't want to hear any of the rumors that this traitor has been spreading about your boss?
It's like, this is how rumors get spread. Besides, if
You
if
seem
he's
pretty
selling,
loyal.
it's like if he's selling this information, not too many people have bought it probably. Besides, he's making everything up, right? He's saying anything he can just to wiggle out of those ropes.
Bailey, do you want to defend yourself here? Cranston claims that what you're saying is just rumors and nonsense. But you're clearly like on the run for a reason.
It's not rumors. It's not nonsense. I've seen it. I've seen Talivald. He's stashing weapons, armor too. Looks like he's looking to outfit an army. He's planning something big. I've seen it in that cellar. Come on, Cranston. We've shared some drinks together. Don't deny it. You've seen it too. And Cranston just kind of like shrugs. He's like, yeah, I've seen it too. That doesn't prove nothing. Was that your big secret? Is that what you thought was going to save your skin?
Yeah, I mean, not that I want to see any more bloodshed in Brugah for the innocent citizens, but it sounds like having a small militia is not something that's so bad, especially when our enemies are all also armed. Why is that incriminating? I don't see how that's incriminating, Bailey.
Yeah, see, this girl's got her head on straight. Bailey over here just want to make a quick buck by ratting us out. He's just pretending like he's got a conscience now because it suits his fancy.
And we hate snitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Miles is like, yeah, fuck snitches.
Jesus Christ, you're still here, Miles?
He's like 50 feet from the horse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm satisfied, Bailey. If that's all that you were trying to spread, was just trying to rat out the resistance to the local authorities saying that we've got weapons, I'm more than happy to let Talivald have his way with you.
He's he's like, and maybe I don't have proof, but the way Talivald speaks, I can tell he's got schemes. Just when you talk to him, you'll know, and you'll know you let an innocent man die today.
I would love to go talk to him.
Same. I hear he's very generous. Ponies?
Yeah, it seems like he's gonna help out the street kid who's like me, one of the poor citizens of Brugah. Seems like an honest fellow to me.
Well, if you guys want to go see Talivald.
Yep. All right, we can go back to where we were before. I just wanted to see.
Yeah, no, that's good. Honestly, that was a great addition. I'm glad we did some of that. I forgot that was an addition. So you guys arrive at the ruined Reeve. Went back and forth. Which one do you guys like more?
I like ruined.
You like ruined? All right, yeah. Like a Reeve is like an elderman or like a elected official, and so he's like ruined by drink. It's like ruined Reeve. It's fun. Anyway,
okay.
I want to explain it. So you guys arrive at this bar tent. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna ask Cranston. Reed is gonna ask Cranston. Where's Talivald usually hang out?
Like, oh, he's got a table reserved for him in the back.
All right. I say we go drop off this bag of onions right at his reserved table.
That's a good way to make a splash. Why don't you do the carrying? I bumped into someone when I was chasing after you guys. Shoulder's been killing me.
Dude, I beat up his friend and his friend is just like dipped.
He's around. I haven't forgot about
okay, he is partying too. Sweet. Well, is this somewhere that like I can bring him up on horseback, or should I like toss him over my shoulder?
It's a
Like,
pretty
just
crowded
an
area,
open
so you
tent.
should probably carry
Okay.
him on person. Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna grab him off the horse, toss him over my shoulder, and walk my way up to Talbot's table.
Sweet.
I'm swaggering
And-
beside, feeling very important at the moment.
Nice. And
Yeah,
Cranston's,
that's true. We got to get you your silver.
Cranston's walking up to. And you see a man, presumably Talivald. He's wearing like crisp starched military uniform. It's an archaic cut, maybe something that would have been used by the Bruganese army back when they were separate from the Imperial Legion. And he's got a well-trimmed blonde goatee and like pretty long hair slicked back, like just above the shoulder. He's got like a rapier on one hip and like black polished boots that he has like up on the table. And as you walk up, he takes his feet off the table, stands, and says, I don't believe it. Thomas Bailey, I've been looking for you.
I'm gonna toss him off my shoulder onto the table. Be like, I found that traitor you've been looking for. My name's Reed. Happy to join the resistance.
We found him, Versino. Pleasure.
That's right. Versino was there too. He aided in the capture. It was actually very helpful.
Yes.
He kind of looks at you guys, not really knowing what to think. He looks to Cranston. Cranston shrugs like, yeah, they were very helpful. And Rain is like, well, I guess it's a pleasure to meet you then. And he extends a hand to both of you to shake. As you're shaking his hand, he like very firm grasp, looks you right in the eye, like a nice smile. He's got a great way with people, you know? And he's like, a traitor? What they're saying about you can't be right. Right, Bailey? We go way back. And he takes out a knife and starts cutting Bailey's rope free. He's like, see, I just heard all these very troubling rumors. I never believed them for a second. I just wanted to have a conversation with you, and so that we could be on the same page and make sure that we understood each other. Come on, have a seat. Can someone get Bailey a drink? And Bailey is just like kind of like looking around, like waiting for the other like shoe to drop, just like rubbing his wrists. He looks like haggard. He's been probably like living in onion merchant's cellar for the last week, and he's just like looking around. Bailey
flag. Oh, sorry.
Bailey just offers you. Talivald just offers you both a seat.
Yeah,
at this table.
I was gonna flag down the waiter for like a smoke if they've got him available. Seems like the kind of place.
Yeah, there's not. Okay, so
drinking.
There's not really waiters. It's
okay.
Basically like a hangout, but there are like gophers for the gang.
Talivald's just like one
yeah.
of my friends.
Exactly, and they'll just like
I will not be flagging people down.
Yeah, well, no, you can. Like, there's just like people all around behind you, and you're sitting at like the most important table. And so, but there aren't like people wearing like uniforms. There's not like official staff. It's basically just like a hideout.
I understand.
But yeah, they can get you a drink and a smoke, whatever you need.
Both.
I mean, okay. Both, says Versino.
Cool. And you're maybe 15. They give you both. It doesn't matter. It's like they're fucking just a reputable organization.
Every time I smoke the pipe. Love it.
Very good.
Yeah. And
I have a smoking habit, so I'll take them where I can get them. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good.
Talivald is like, well, it must be quite the story of how you three met. Why don't you regale me? And you guys can fill him in on what you want. What do you want to tell him? What do you want to leave out?
I was just going to say, the only thing I wouldn't be upfront was robbing him and using any kind of magic in the process. Just I saw him, I came and reported on the subject.
Yeah, magic
And
is
then
magic
leverage.
is illegal. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I don't think even Miles knows about that. So
okay, cool.
yeah, just literally I saw him and I ran to the smoke shop and got
Yeah.
Reed and the rest.
Yeah, and then Cranston pipes. It was like, yeah, and that's when we saw. That's when we met the youngster, and Rowley. Well, he didn't. And Talavold smiles like, oh yeah, I already heard from Rowley. Don't worry about that. I
You didn't feel
even
like
the
being a
night
part
off.
of our search and rescue team.
No one works
Yeah.
if they don't want to, you know.
Found him trying to escape the city in an onion cart. He told me that you guys have been stockpiling weapons, which was apparently a big deal to him. I think it's great.
Talavold smiles and just kind of laughs. He's like, Bailey's always had a very active imagination. We don't have any weapons here. Just the ones that you see on us for personal offense, of course. I'm sure he was just being a little creative, looking for something that would make the headlines. Isn't that right, Bailey? Bailey's like, yep. Yeah, that's right. I was just trying to get your attention. I was just trying to get out of that any way I could.
Gonna roll intuition.
That's a great idea. Do you want to roll it on Bailey or Talavold?
Talavold, because Cranston agreed that he'd seen these weapons. I'm suspicious that Talavold is lying. Intuition is intelligence roll.
Guile.
Guile.
He got a 1 though, so you have to roll anything besides a 1.
The 5.
Nice. He as he says the words, it's a completely straight face. The only thing that lets you on to it is when you just say out loud that he was stockpiling weapons. There's like a sudden look of like shock and panic, but then he immediately suppresses it and it's totally cool from then on out.
While they're conversating, so their attention's focused on each other, can I just casually lean back and cast Seer Sight?
Yeah.
And
A
just
seer sight, you can make it last for only a couple seconds if you want. Your cat's really cute, Katie. It's like a little seal, like it's so reflective.
He's a bat.
Yeah.
Or the dragon from that one movie.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Release it.
Yeah,
Like toothless.
set him free.
You can cast Seer Sight and you can make it last for just a fleeting couple of seconds. It does make your eyes like glassy light blue. So it's obvious that someone's casting it.
Oh, never mind. Not remotely worth the risk.
Okay.
Just cough on my pipe.
Yeah. He's like, well, that shows incredible initiative to track down this lost friend of mine. They wander off sometimes. You know how they are. Are you interested in signing on?
More than signing on, I think I should help you, executively. As much as I'm happy to do menial side work for the resistance, I think I would be better used as a tool for actually getting shit done, I want to be in on the big missions. I want to be a part of what you're doing.
No task in this resistance movement is menial. Everything is important. The big gears and the small.
But some gears are bigger than others.
I suppose.
I specialize.
Well, it seems like you've just
menial work.
Yeah.
An expert in my field.
Just filling out job applications.
Yeah. I hate to be crass. I was told there'd be payment of some kind.
Oh yes, of course. Cook. And there's an enormous guy wearing just like a vest and loose trousers, who has like a big mug in his hand. He looks over, he's like, get the ransom, reward. and he's like, oh, yeah. And he like walks over to the cellar doors, pries them open, walks down, comes back a little bit later with like a big sack of silver and plunks it down on the table. And Halivol's like, I have no authority to make official bounties, but I said I would pay anyone who brought my old friend back to me 250. Is this going to be a 50-50 split for you two?
Yes.
I'm happy to let Versino take more than his share.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm just happy to be a part of something good. And it seems like if your friends keep running off, you might need somebody to replace them.
He kind of scrutinizes you, and he's going to try to roll an intuition on you.
Cool. So I'm
You just
doing
have to
guile.
roll a deception. Yeah.
Okay. 6 + 1 is 7.
Roll again.
6 + 1.
Cool.
7.
He kind of looks you up and down. He's like, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I haven't heard much about you. Rolling into town a couple days ago, nice horse, shiny armor. Where'd you get those things? Steal them?
Where does it look like I got them? I've made my way into town, brutalizing the Empire my way. I hadn't made such a big fuss to be a part of anything before because I was tending for my bedridden mother who was screwed over medically for years, just like not getting help from her government or from her people. She eventually succumbed to her illness, and I'm finally released from my duties as a caregiver, and I'm looking for something to really put my heart into. And I heard about the resistance, and it seems like something where my skill set, namely fighting, could come in handy. I think I've proved myself as a worthy part of your team already. Without me, Bailey would be well on his way to the next farmer's market in another town. So
Roll a persuasion.
some more guile.
Yeah.
7.
Nice.
I don't
Good
have
roll.
any persuasion
but that's
traits.
still- that's
Just
really
a
good.
straight 7.
You make some solid points. Reed, was it?
Mhm.
How about this? There's a job that needs doing. And I'd like you two to back me up on it. Unless you prefer the menial sort of work.
If the pay is comparable, absolutely. Rebellion ho.
Well, it's like,
You
well,
should make a banner that says that.
Rebellion Ho.
Never liked
right.
the Empire. Never been a big fan personally.
He's like, he stands, kind of dusting off his knees, like, well, this job doesn't pay, but it should be easy. And it's something that the independence movement really needs. Winning a war isn't as much about the swords and the armor and the horses as people think. What really wins a war is medicine. I've heard that there's a doctor on the edge of town doing some work, and she's a lot
Versino's eyes just light up immediately. He's like, "Oh yeah, yes,
familiar.
I know her. Yeah, there once a week."
He's had many an ailment.
Well, she seems
I
to
heard
have
she's incredibly good looking.
she seems to have
On my
potential.
way.
She seems to have potential. With what's coming, we can't be going to the typical apothecaries for the wounds my good men might suffer. We're going to need someone discreet and dedicated to the cause. We can pay, but I'm not sure if, from what I hear, money is what she's looking for. Why don't you head with me and we can figure out an arrangement that everyone gets what they want.
Sounds like a perfect plan, partner. Clap him on the shoulder, I guess. Shake his hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fill my pockets with leftover like food leavings on the way out of the barrel house.
Cool. Grabbing some scraps.
Mhm.
As you come out of the tent, Miles is there, and he's like, "Wow, they didn't kill you." Also, how much of that money did you want to take, Reed? 125
How much
or
is
less?
there?
It's 250 total between you two.
Okay. I'll take I already lost 25 to this guy, so I at least need to pay that back. I'm trying to think of horse expenses and things.
Yeah, it's good to
I'll
have
just
some
take,
spending money.
Yeah.
Just take
I'll
100?
Take 100. Yeah.
Cool.
And give him another
150.
More
Yeah.
money than I've had in my entire life.
Yeah, it's
Just
been a good day for you.
I'm just gonna show the bag to Miles and just shake it and just kind of squeal in the street.
Miles is like, "No way! You want me to squirrel that away in our safe spot?"
I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay, you got it.
Suddenly turning into Gollum, just
Yeah,
it's mine.
Sweet. So it's getting to be about 7 or 8 p.m. and you guys are heading toward Celeste's shop. And as you arrive, the line is starting to disperse. You were able to see most of your patients today, but there were a couple. It's closing time. You haven't eaten dinner yet, and you at a certain point, no matter how much good you want to do, you have to draw the line somewhere. And you turned a couple people away, but they can come back tomorrow morning. So as you're closing your door and turning the sign over, and people are dispersing, you see a retinue of 4 or 5 people and wearing armor. Some of them walking straight toward your building.
I don't like the looks of this.
Means trouble.
Yeah.
Trying to build a pool hall.
Trouble's coming.
Yeah. I'll just lock your door, pull your curtains.
Yeah.
No, what do you want to
do? No, I'm just gonna sigh and then start washing the blood off my hands.
Nice. Yeah, you got a wash basin right in front of the door. You see a handsome man with a blonde goatee, kind of wrap his knuckles on your door and kind of peeking through the window. And he's like, "I know we're a little after hours. We don't need any help. Just want to talk."
I'm gonna be like, "What can I help you with?"
Well, you could open the door. That would be a good start.
Fair enough. I'll open the door.
There you go. It's like, "Thank you so much." And he bows a little, just like a curt little thing. It's like, the name's Rain Calivald. You can roll a knowledge Brugah, which is just me, your intelligence. Add knowledge Brugah if you have it. And yeah, you just need a 4. She's pretty well known.
2.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. So you've been so focused in your studies, you don't hear local gossip very much. You haven't heard the name before. But he kind of walks into your you probably sleep on the second story and your workshop is on the first. He walks in. He has got a tall woman in armor, a scrappy, oily kid with him, and absolutely enormous guy in a vest who just stands at the back, stands in the doorway with his arms crossed, but not particularly hostile energy. I mean, interpret it however you want.
Yeah.
And he walks in, looks around, is like, I hear that you're doing a lot of good for our community.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, that cough is here. More and more people are getting that these days.
And the boils. Skip to
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah, and the boils. Awful things. Awful. I'm assuming someone who works with those sort of things would know how to treat stab wounds, arrows. That's within your wheelhouse.
I suppose.
Well, my organization, and he motions to you guys.
Hello, Proctor.
Yeah, you actually you recognize
What's up,
the
street brat?
Yeah, you recognize the yeah, you're really gonna show your true colors. You recognize the urchin. He comes in here with like what you think might be his younger brother, who's just got like some lung problems from being trampled as a kid.
I'm gonna be like, Versino.
Yeah.
Hi, Proctor.
How are you?
Well,
Rich.
my
And I just shake my little back.
Good for you, honey.
Gonna get
You're
Miles'
doing
cough all
great.
fixed up finally.
Oh my god, I love that.
Well, I could use a new shirt, and it's running through a shopping list before thinking about my dying friend.
Yeah, before fixing his one.
How are you doing today, Rich? So funny.
That's how I'm going to greet myself to everyone.
All right. So he's like, Talivald is like, well, my movement, the independence movement, you may have heard of us. We're here to prepare Brugah for the coming conflicts. And to make sure that good people like you and little Versino here have everything that they need
Oh my god.
to survive and thrive in the world to come.
The only
Uncertain
conflict
future.
I have is with Grimshaw fever.
Well, that's what you think.
Save the formalities. What are you asking me?
I think I like that. I respect that. Getting right to the point. I have a feeling that a lot of my men, they're gonna get hurt soon, and I need someone who can tend to their wounds and do it quickly, efficiently, and discreetly. This is a very lucrative position I'm offering you.
How many men?
Well, currently we have 35, but we're recruiting more every day.
My
And
character's trying to like weigh the like, can I do more here at this than I can do like going and helping?
Mm-hmm. He's like, and yeah, you may have to put some of your charity cases on the back burner, but never hurts to get rich and do good at the same time.
I suppose.
Here.
I do have friends looking into a cure for the current disease. Therefore, I may be persuaded to help you in your cause.
Well, you wouldn't have to move. Seems like you have a great shop, great setup here.
I do. I get a +2 every roll I'm
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds great.
It's wonderful.
He's like, you wouldn't have to move. I think that our organization is going to become a larger and larger role in Grandshire as time progresses. Just knowing that you are on our side when push comes to shove would help me and all my men sleep a lot easier.
I think the money could help me with my main cause. So what
Absolutely.
kind of funds are we talking about here?
Well, of course, always the brass tacks to consider.
And you're talking discretion.
And of course, well, how about this? A retainer of 75 a week. Double that if you have to treat any of my men. We may go weeks without an incident. I just need to know that there's somewhere that they can be taken if the worst comes to pass.
We're also offering protection in these uncertain times. You never know where you could end up.
He claps you on the box like, my associate Reed is absolutely correct. You never know what kind of people are out there in the dark, but you know that we're here, frontline defense.
I treated 2 men today for Grimshaw fever, and it put me back about 80 silver. Do with that information.
roll a persuasion. Roll a persuasion. Yeah, you're basically just
Are
saying
you
like,
asking for that every day?
No, I'm saying like
Just start charging your patients.
Yeah.
Doctor.
I'm here for the cause, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Of course. No, I respect that.
5.
5. Okay. He's like, well, you know, can't expect me to pay for the medical bills of every poor schmuck who comes down with this cough, but
That's right.
But maybe I could. Maybe
I know. I'm a capitalist now. I immediately got money. I turned.
It's like maybe I could do 100. And hey, if our numbers grow, if our influence grows, if we come into other assets, we can and you serve our cause well, we can adjust that number going forward. That's just a retainer. You can keep doing your thing every day, and hey, I pay for 2-3 sick poor citizens a week.
I like this deal.
Wonderful. And he
It's like
extends
weird welfare.
Yeah. He extends a hand across.
Do you have any student loans, Proctor? From when you went to college?
No, the herbarium operates on like a very strict work study where you're basically like a servant, like mopping floors and helping with assistants, and like from the ages of like 8 to 15, and then like for the next 6 years, then you get all of your college classes for free. So it's like a work and learn sort of thing. So yeah, you have no college debt, but he extends a hand across the examination table for you to shake.
I'll do it.
Seems that we
With
have an
my
accord.
freshly cleaned hands.
Yeah. No, he has very nice hands. Well trimmed nails. Yeah. Yeah.
I trust these hands.
Yeah. And he's like, well, that went splendidly. I have an old friend of mine I need to have a long conversation with, but you two do whatever you like.
I don't trust this snaky little man.
He's not snaky. He's charming.
Exactly.
As Talivald is leaving, I want to like run up to him real quick and be like, sir, would you consider me a part of your organization now?
It's like, you're welcome at the Reeve anytime.
Would you consider my friend Miles a part of the organization? He helped greatly. He spotted the man.
I did help. I stood in a street and
he spotted him on the roof.
Yeah, he was like, I suppose.
Miles,
Sure.
It looks like your medical bills are paid. Head in to see the good proctor.
He just like smiles and laughs. He's like, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. And him and
thank you, sir.
And Cook walk further back into the city.
I'm gonna say, Miles, is that you? It's time for your medicine.
Yeah, he comes running. He's like, I hate how it tastes, but I love how it feels.
No.
Don't we all, Miles?
Never mind, I take it back. He doesn't get it.
He's on the way out, dude. He's got like 6 months to live.
Slowly rotting his brain.
Life expectancy in Brugah is like 12 and a half.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard of it.
All right, so let's jump back to the hunt. If you guys are ready.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thanks for your patience. So you guys are riding through the countryside at sundown. You see the hunting party has brought like 2 or 3 birds of prey that are circling overhead, flying against a crimson sky. There you are riding through like the underbrush, some scraggly pines on either side, and just all like drinking. There's like a drinking horn and Sebastian's flask. You're all laughing, catching up on the times.
What are we hunting exactly? Are we just letting the birds hunt and this is more of a rich people chill situation?
It's mostly a rich people chill thing. What they'll do is like they'll let the dogs go and they'll chase all of like the small game out of bushes, and then the falcons will just pounce it and pull it up. And that's actually happened a couple of times as you've been writing and talking. You see the hound masters at Elias will, when he sees something, he'll whistle, and like a greyhound will run out, scare everything, run it out. His bird just comes down, picks it up, and literally will drop it in his hand, like incredibly well-trained birds. And Elias seems very proud of this. It's not really to hunt; it's more to like show off his ability out falconry,
right, for training.
Yeah, and it's just like a nice like country ride.
Cool.
But there are bows and archers if you guys want to go after larger game. But he
I'm good.
prefers falconry.
I would like to strike up a conversation with the Countess about her ex-husband.
Cool. So I actually have a perfect segue into that. She'll be riding along, just talking about like her estates and like, it's a lot to manage. I have like so acreage and 3 small villages, although none of them are doing well. Soil doesn't, do well, but the funny thing about being imperial woman is that as a child, you effectively belong to your father, and then you're married. I married quite young, 18, and then you effectively belong to your husband. It's not until your husband dies that a woman is truly free to manage her own estates and speak with whoever she pleases, and she gives you a pointed look, regardless of their reputation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that I've never thought of it that way. I've never, been on that side of things.
You are under your own obligations, of course. You have done an admirable job at evading all of those obligations. 31, unmarried. You own properties, but don't have to manage them, and they're bathhouses of all things, which I'm sure are a pleasure to handle. You don't have to extract taxes of barley and flax from destitute villagers. It seems like a very pleasant life that you've made for yourself, Sebastian. I'm impressed.
Pleasure is one way to put it. How long have you been a widower?
My husband, Howard, unfortunately passed away last fall, just over a year ago.
Last fall? So that's it's an awful long time you spent under the thumb of someone else.
Oh, it wasn't nearly as bad as I make it out to be. I loved Howard. He was a great man. We had a wonderful life, 3 good children. But someone can simultaneously enjoy the ride and reflect realistically on the benefits of it ending. Can I not?
No. I mean, it must be nice being a free woman. It's about time.
Couldn't agree
Um,
more.
Sounds like a nice little end cap to potentially long formulated plan.
Hmm. Um. Okay, let me process that for a second.
So how heavy was that sword?
Yeah. Do you actually want to say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Brennis. Okay.
Oh,
No.
Oh, okay. She kind of chuckles and she's like, and she leans over and whispers, she's like, if I wanted my husband killed, I could have done it 30 years earlier. I loved him very much. I really did. You can roll an intuition if you don't believe her.
I would love to.
Brennis is actually purposefully probably riding up with Elias and giving them some space.
Cool.
You know.
It's an 11.
You got a 1. You believe her. Yeah, she seems to genuinely remember her husband fondly. She does obviously enjoy being a widow, but and misses her husband. But he died almost 2 years ago, and But yeah, when she says that, she's confident enough in it where she can joke about it. She's not like, I would never do that. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Which would be way more suspicious.
Yeah.
She seems totally authentic.
Cool. Sweet. I'm actually genuinely curious. So, clearly I've done a little bit of research. A rusty sword all by himself. There's got to be more to the story, right?
I know. That's what everyone says. I get so many looks around Brugah in the capital whenever I come out of my widower's tower. But truly, it is what happened. The ravaged lands are a wasteland of forgotten weapons and rusted equipment. It's terribly unlucky, but I genuinely believe that he fell on a sword.
Was he all by himself?
Yes, Sir Galloway, my keeper of the grounds, found him a few hours later. He was still alive, but he was riding by himself, just a country ride. There was no one around, and by that time, it was already too late for him. The ravaged lands are known for being a home to scavengers, and people, even hundreds of years later, still go through, pick out forgotten equipment and things left behind from the long march. But he was not beset upon by brigands. All of his possessions were intact, and he would have no reason to lie to me on his deathbed.
Well, I'm glad you're making the best of it. Cheers to freedom and prosperity.
She takes the flask from you and drinks. She's like, so you believe me?
I've been around a lot of liars, as I assume you have. And yeah, I think I do.
It's like, oh, that is so refreshing. And she just like kind of pats you on the back and says, I mean, I tell people this every day and they say they believe me, but they don't. I try not to let it get to me, but sometimes it really does.
Meta real quick. Sebastian's still fucking sketched out.
Really? Then you should roll a deception, motherfucker.
Nah. I mean, I do. I believe her, but It's just too easy a story, but
It's bound to happen at least once.
I trusted my gut. I rolled well. That's all I can do.
I mean, she has a castle in the place literally known for being covered in rusty swords. Like,
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe that's why nothing grows there.
Yeah.
I get that soil test, you know? You got a
Yeah,
lot
exactly.
of iron going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You never know. All right. So in the meantime, Emmanuel and Elias, you guys are right along. Anything you want to talk to the Baron about, or are you guys just enjoying the pastoral scene?
I'll remark on the birds and their, I'm guessing, beauty and strength and well-trainedness.
Yeah, they are impressive.
Yeah, it's quite a job you've done with these birds, Elias. Well done.
Thank you. As I mentioned, it was my ancestors' trade. Many nobles, they relegate the duty to a retainer. Saves them time. It is a lengthy process training these birds. They do not react well to such grotesque things like the human face, so they must be hooded and trained from sound alone. Each one has a different whistle that I trained them from a young age with, and he will like demonstrate a whole whistle like one, and one will like dip down to his arm. You guys keep riding around a hill, it'll fly off, he'll whistle another one, and it will come down. Each has a distinct tone that it knows. But I enjoy the work. It's my way of remembering my ancestors, and it is always nice to spend some time with just animals, you know?
Yeah. I do know. I love nature. I go on walks all the time, in fact, usually at night, around this time. So thanks for inviting me out.
Of course. It is a beautiful time of day. Do you have any pets?
I don't. I'm more of a free wanderer. Don't like to keep things, but I do enjoy my birds.
There's a natural way. And and you never know when you're walking out at dusk, all the things you might run into. Family of deer across the road, or anything else. Nature is full of surprises.
That's true. You never know who's watching.
He just kind of like smiles and laughs. And
Brynnis, what happens if you blow your flute with all the birds around?
I've been specifically not
Okay.
playing on the hunt, you know.
They all respond to like different tones. You could just like
Yeah, they all kill themselves because of how many times they've been whistled at in the last half hour.
Yeah, but yeah, it is strange that you've gone this long without like just playing a little melody.
I'm holding back.
Yeah, it's intentional.
But I also am paying attention to what tones he's whistling.
Cool.
Oh, that one seems to respond to more of a C sharp, I see.
Yeah, I have
Very
one of those. So you guys are riding.
I would
along.
I would love to at some point just get close to Elias, and I'll give him a little elbow and be like, I'll give it to you. She is fun.
He just smiles and says, I knew you guys would get along swimmingly.
I know my homeboy Elias partakes a little bit. I'll pass him over my flask, and I'll actually pull out my a little does he carry a pipe on him?
He doesn't. He will smoke sometimes, like in the security and privacy of your bathhouse. But he's not a smoker. No.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just give him I'll hand him my flask and see if he wants to take a swig, and give him a cheers for the invitation and the beautiful scenery.
He gladly accepts it. He's like, I'm so glad you both could make it out. It is a gorgeous night. One of the last truly perfect nights of summer. I'm glad we can all enjoy it together. And you guys ride over a last crest northward, looking over the ravaged lands. The falcons are circling above you, crying softly. And you see in the setting sun a glimmering host of hundreds, if not thousands, of Imperial soldiers, all on horseback, charging at full speed southward.
That is towards us.
Yeah.
Full speed?
Yeah.
Like battle speed?
Like
or
as
like
close,
a march?
As close to battle speed as a cavalry battalion can maintain over great distances.
That's
With
pretty
great
close.
urgency. Yeah.
What are they coming towards?
Grandshire. Elias just looks over the vista, not really knowing what to think. It's like, I'm sure we don't have anything to worry about. These are our loyal sovereigns and their men. I am so sorry to call this splendid evening short, but I believe it would be best if I went and met with them.
Should we return to the castle?
Do what you will. I should not be long.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot Sebastian a look and just be like, you and the Countess should probably head back to the castle.
The Countess touches your arm and says, I think that's a fantastic idea. I can't imagine what so many could be doing here.
Yeah. Meta. My interest is the political stuff, but Sebastian's interest is not even remotely close to that. So Sebastian would 100% follow the woman, I think.
Cool. Countess Catherine Everett would definitely appreciate having some company heading back home to Grandshire, considering the sudden change in the evening.
Cool. Yeah.
You and most of the hunting retinue, about half stays for protection of Elias, and you can travel as well with him, Brennus, if you're interested, or you can head back to the safety of the bathhouse.
Okay. I'm going to dismount and send that horse back with that guy and give him a wink and say, this seems like a perfect time for an evening walk.
Cool. Elias is like, what are you talking about? It's miles back to Grandshire.
I'll see you later.
You just want to walk into the woods?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so an old man on foot just walks westward.
I'm gonna bust out the flute, start playing
right.
a little ditty.
Cool.
It's been too long since I played this thing.
Yeah, Elias just kind of looks after you incredulously and steals himself and starts riding down toward the Imperial host.